Hey everyone, me Kevin here. In this video, I want to go through day one of the DNC. I want to give you some of the highlights, make this very simple. I'm going to get to the bottom lines. Then I'm going to give you Donald Trump's response. So let's get right into it. Okay, first things first, let's review what happened at the DNC yesterday. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to take sides in this. I just want to report the news to you as unbiasedly as possible. So I'm going to pick the big bangers of the DNC, and then we'll talk about the big bangers of Trump. So that way all you're getting are bangers. And if it's too much to handle, make sure you go down to the links down below, get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes. And of course, if you want 2 free stocks, there's another link where if you click it, you deposit $100, they'll give you 2 free stocks worth up to $1,400. It's kind of a random lottery. Just make sure you deposit the $100 to get your second free stock, which is the bigger one. Okay, let's get started. The DNC yesterday opened up with the opening lines of, quote, "We've come to save our democracy. The last 4 years, we've been left diminished and divided." Keep that in mind because Donald Trump responds to some of the things that I'm telling you here. Andrew Cuomo then came out and said that COVID is just a metaphor, that a virus attacks when the body is weak and when it cannot defend itself. This is kind of portraying the United States as the body, and the United States was weak, therefore a virus came in. Andrew Cuomo accuses Trump of our failures and went as far as calling our government incompetent. Joe Biden, he believes, can restore the soul of America. A doctor then came up and said we should expect a tsunami coming during flu season. Presumably that's a combination of COVID cases and flu season cases. Michigan's governor said that Donald Trump is fighting his own Americans rather than fighting the virus. Meg Whitman and Mr. Kasich, the former Ohio governor, are both Republicans and said they supported Trump initially, but now they support Biden, along with many others who were showcased during the DNC. Bernie Sanders, no surprise, said that Trump is incapable and leading us down a path of authoritarianism, one of greed, bigotry, and oligarchy. However, Bernie Sanders did also give us a little bit of insight into Joe Biden's plans, which, by the way, I did an entire video breaking down Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's tax plans versus Donald Trump's. So check that out. I'll link it down in the description down below or up here as well. Joe Biden wants minimum wage to go up to $15 to push the wage scale up. The theory is if people in the lower end are paid more, then that'll force people above the lower end to also get paid more out of fairness. Bernie Sanders believes this will lead to 40 million workers getting pay raises, or around a quarter of all workers getting pay raises. 12 weeks of paid family leave is another premise that Joe Biden stands for. Universal pre-K for 3 and 4-year-olds. Making childcare affordable is a priority. 100% clean energy over the next 15 years and eliminating fossil fuel credits. Joe Biden apparently has a plan to expand healthcare, lower the Medicare age to 60, end private prisons, and ultimately Bernie Sanders ended by saying we must defeat Trump. Michelle Obama said that presidents' words have power. They can start wars or broker peace, and you can't fake your way through this job. Donald Trump, she says, lost by 3 million popular votes, but won in the Electoral College. In one particular state, the winning margin was just 2 votes per precinct. Michelle Obama goes on to say that we get a lack of empathy today, and that going high is the only thing that works. But she did asterisk that by saying there are times it makes sense to hold your ground. And I think that is an example of Michelle Obama saying there are times it's right to fight back. That's my summary of the top parts of the DNC. Let's now talk about Donald Trump's responses, and then we'll look at some of his threats and other messages. Donald Trump says Obama was the reason Trump won in 2016. He called Andrew Cuomo a, quote, horrible governor. Crime is taking over New York City and New York State, and everyone is leaving. We'll get to Trump's threat in a moment, but Trump then also assailed Michelle Obama, saying that Michelle Obama should have given her speech live instead of having it recorded. And then to this morning, Donald Trump decided to pardon Susan B. Anthony. Yes, that's Susan B. Anthony, the person we learn about in history, who died 114 years ago. She was a big women's rights activist and was found guilty by a New York jury of having illegally voted in the 1872 election. She is now being pardoned by Donald Trump. Now, in fairness, today is the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment that gave voting rights to women. However, guess who is also disproportionately hurt by this pandemic? Women. Economists and the Federal Reserve have found that up to 75% of those making under $40,000 per year and getting disproportionately hurt by this pandemic, getting devastated by the lack of jobs in hospitality and retail and restaurants, are women. Then we get to Donald Trump's threat, which comes to honest voting. Here's the thing, when Donald Trump talks about voting, it's important to realize the big difference that he's talking about. Let's go ahead and put aside absentee ballots and mail-in ballots for a moment, because those terms can sometimes be used interchangeably. Sometimes they mean different things. Donald Trump believes that if you request a mail-in ballot, then mail-in ballots are okay. However, he does not believe it's okay for ballots to go out to everyone, because he thinks that can lead to ballot harvesting and then people submitting multiple votes. Others counter that and say every ballot has to get signature verified and ID verified and so on and so forth. So that's somewhat a quick example of the debate. Donald Trump is pro absentee ballots, which you ask for it and then you get a ballot in the mail. And if you want, in some states, you can actually take that ballot and go drop it off at a polling place. So it's kind of like polling without standing in line. Okay, here's his threat though. Donald Trump says, absentee is great. This is when you specifically request a ballot. But universal is going to be a disaster, the likes of which our country has never seen. It'll end up being a rigged election, or they will never come out with an outcome. Here you go. They'll have to do it again. And nobody wants that. I don't want that. This is being seen as a threat throughout a lot of media channels. I don't know if it is. Is Trump just saying this? Is he kind of just trying to prep for what might come? Is this Donald Trump saying, hey, you know what? If he disagrees with the election, are we going to have a new election? I have no idea. However, because I do want to provide the bombshells from both Democrats and Republicans, we are going to look at some of Donald Trump's additional tweets. Donald Trump says the Obama administration was the most corrupt in history, including the fact that they got caught spying on my campaign, the biggest political scandal in history. It's called treason and more. And then he slammed Michelle Obama here in this tweet. Looking back into history, the response by the Obama-Biden team to the H1N1 swine flu was considered a weak and pathetic one. Check out the polling, it's really bad. The big difference is they got a free pass from the fake news media. Somebody please explain to Michelle Obama that Donald Trump would not be here in the beautiful White House if it weren't for the job done by your husband, Barack Obama, aka Donald Trump believes because Obama did a poor job, Trump is in office. Biden was merely an afterthought. My administration and I built the greatest economy in history. And so on and so forth. You can pause to read some of these in detail. I'm not reading all of that because we've heard Donald Trump say that many times. Here is a tweet that I had read to you before, but here's another one. People forget how divided our country was under Obama-Biden. The anger and hatred were unbelievable. They shouldn't be lecturing us. I'm here as your president because of them. There you have your DNC roundup for day one, including Donald Trump's responses. Let's see how tomorrow goes. Remember, day 2 of the DNC is tonight, and then tomorrow we'll get to see what the drama was. In the event that you don't want to watch the entire DNC, I will probably do another video just like this. Just hit that subscribe button and you'll see it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.